and we are two sisters who live in South Africa who are starting a podcast. I'm Jade.
And I'm Amy.
And I'm 21 years old.
I'm 19.
And we love Jesus. So we have just wanted to speak about, why we need to speak about Jesus, and just being authentic about Christianity and not having it become this religion that it has become. So why did you want to start a podcast about Jesus?
Well, I think especially in South Africa, there's not a big
variety.
Yeah, there's not a big variety of people, Christians, that are putting themselves out there and saying this is wrong, we're living in a world where the wrong is right.
And you know what I found? We are technically a godly country, and we have so many different churches, so many different denominations, and people who do call themselves Christian, but we don't have a lot of Christians that are actually on fire for Jesus.
And the faith is lost.
Yes, there's a lot of people will say, no, they believe in Jesus, but they will go, their life doesn't show it, and their fruits that they have don't show it. And we just think a lot of, especially the younger generation, our generation, are being lost because they think that that's okay.
Yeah.
And they don't actually have this authentic relationship with Jesus because their church doesn't care about it, and their friends are all doing it, and no one has been saying, no, don't do that,
And I think people just don't read their Bible anymore. It's not a thing for our generation anymore to actually read your physical Bible,
Yeah, and I think it's also become a big thing. I even sometimes get stuck in it with TikTok and Instagram Reels and stuff, where you watch all of this Christian content and then you're like, oh, I don't need to read my Bible
so you
today.
think you're reading a Bible, yes.
Whereas, and unfortunately, the false prophets and the false doctrine and false teachers are really coming alive in this time because people don't know their Bibles.
Yeah.
So watching videos on TikTok and stuff like that is just, it's actually detrimental to people's faith. So we are lucky enough to be part of an amazing church that does call people out for doing things that they shouldn't be doing.
And we were raised in a family that taught us, straight from the Bible.
Straight from the Bible, and that's what I've always loved. And for me, my Bible time is very important, and obviously there are times when it's very difficult
slip-ups
to read your Bible and to stay on track, but
that's okay.
And I think I try my best to spend time with Jesus every day, intentionally with the Bible, with reading His Word. And what happened in your life that has brought you closer to Jesus? Just that has shown you why you want to believe in Jesus and you want to spread Jesus.
Honestly, for me, Jesus was there when no one else was. When I was at rock bottom and I had no one, I still knew that I had Him, and He got me through that because I could feel Him. If it wasn't for Him, my life would be on a very different path than it is right now. And especially the age that I was when going through, hard times. And things that could have traumatized me and made me into a very different person, I hung on to what I knew, which was Him. So I think, just having Him there.
Yeah. I think also with our family, we were mainly raised by our dad. Our mom left when we were in high school, early high school for her, later high school for me. And being raised by a dad who was also struggling with not having, a mum to raise his two teenage daughters. I think it's incredible that we came from where we did and we are now where we are right now.
But I think a big part of that is because our dad was a
godly man, 100%. And even when our mom was still they raised us. We had to go to church on Sundays. We prayed about things that caused us troubles. We just behaved in a godly manner, with kindness and all the fruits of the Spirit, the joy and love and peace and patience, and
Yeah.
And I think that even when we went through everything that we did go through, the only thing we could hold on to was Jesus.
Yeah, it's all we had.
Yes, and I'm so thankful for that because, you know, the prayers that our grandparents prayed for us, they worked.
They worked. They were cooking.
Yeah, they worked. So, I'm just very grateful for my family, especially my dad who, raised us basically on his own.
Yeah.
And so I've been wanting to start this podcast for a while. I did have a page a while ago on Instagram of a younger me, which is a bit embarrassing to look at now. But I wanted to start this for a long time and to just speak about, I just think authenticity is the word of our podcast. I want to be real, and there's so many Christians these days that if they do have a relationship with God, then they're this
perfect
amazing
thing that never does anything wrong, and it's like, oh, okay,
which is fantastic.
I'm
for
just
them.
down bad,
and I wish I was there, but I'm not.
No.
So I wanted to start this because I just felt when I was a teenager and stuff, I wish I had things out there to be able to help me to cope with everything and make a few less of the mistakes that I did make.
We want to be the people that we never had growing up.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm very excited to start this. What topics do you think we will speak about?
I think a big topic is going to be social media.
100%.
Because I think social media is a big part of the downfall of this generation, which I think most people are aware of, but nothing's really being done about it.
I also think social media could also be the saving grace.
Yeah, it can be used,
of people,
switched like that, yeah.
So I think social media, there's two sides of it, and I'm so excited to talk about the two sides of it because I think it's a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think also just like loving people as Christ would.
Love is a big topic.
Yeah.
I think love is very confusing because, with our society these days, I mean, hookups are
inevitable.
They're preferred over actual godly relationships. And if someone hears, oh, you're waiting for marriage, they're like, oh, shock and horror, whereas in my parents' days, if they weren't waiting for marriage, then that was fantastic, whereas if you did hook up, then it was like, oh my goodness. Whereas now, I mean,
it's so normalized, it's tragic.
And love and lust get so confused, and relationships that are meant to be godly aren't because they don't know more, or they
don't want to know more.
And people are so focused on finding their missing piece, and and I think it's going to be such an important conversation to talk about how, and I think that might be multiple topics about how we are whole, and though God created us to be with someone else, it doesn't mean that we
ourselves are not enough.
We are enough by ourselves.
I think self-love is the most important love out there. Because if you, like everyone says, if you don't love yourself, you can't love others.
And I don't think anyone realizes that is actually true.
It's so true.
Until they are in a relationship where they don't love themselves, or their partner doesn't love themselves, because it breaks you. It really destroys your heart. So I think that's going to be exciting.
And also love is so different, when you know the love of God, love is so different with a person once you know where it started and where our hearts came from.
I very much believe that if you are a godly woman or a godly man and you're dating a ungodly woman or ungodly man, they don't know how to love you, because God, Jesus taught me how to love through my family, and through my friends and stuff. Also, an interesting topic will be talking about love in friendships as well. And in family as well, we were not always close either, and our and I'm sure you guys with siblings as well
it's hard. It's hard. You have to fight for a relationship because it is hard.
And I see a lot of the sibling things on TikTok as well, and the comments are like, oh my word, how is this thing, and I didn't think, we had to go through something traumatic to
actually trauma bond.
And you know, a lot of things that happened through our life to bring us to, we needed each other, you know. And we can talk about the things we went through together because
only we went through it.
We went through it together, and we can also counsel each other because we both know Jesus and we both have a strong relationship with Jesus, which...
Yeah, I think a big thing is accountability. Like, we can really keep each other accountable because we know...
Yeah,
you know.
no, we might get cross with each other for a little bit. In the end, you know, we come
know,
back. Yeah, and any other topics that you can think of? So we will speak about love, all the different kinds as well.
Yeah, friendship.
Mental health.
Yeah.
I think mental health has become a massive thing these days, and you know, I think, you know, I'm a teacher, and I have seen just how it has completely, I mean, everyone is with some kind of therapist, and you know, I believe in therapy. I believe it helps. I believe pills, if you need them, you know, they help, but I also believe that there are spiritual beings in our world that are causing a lot of these problems. I just think that mental health has, as much as it's become this massive thing, I also think it's been diminished because, like, people who should be in asylums are now running around free, leading people into the same mental illness that they have. And you know, I know this is very controversial for a lot of Christians, unfortunately, with the gender roles. Gender roles will be a very important topic to discuss as well. But just with the different sexualities that are being brought about, the different genders, I mean, there must be like 1,000 genders at this point, which is crazy because God intended for there to be male and female, you know? And I think mental health, people are not taking it seriously anymore, and people think that they're taking more seriously, but they're not, because back, you know, if you thought that you weren't who you were, you would go to therapy for it, not released out into the world, you know.
But I think also, like, the thing is, people don't realize, like, the attention that they get from it. Like, they have this hole that they are seeking something, and they try to fill it with attention from other people by, oh, I have anxiety, you know, I have depression, like, and they want that attention from other people and that, like, help from other people, when actually they need to find God. Like, it's as plain and simple as that. Like, at the end of the day, God is the only thing that's gonna fill that hole that they are so desperately seeking from other people.
When I was going through it, we had an altar call at our church, and I went forward. It was for anxiety and depression and alcohol and all of those things that I was trying to fill myself with. And I went forward to the altar call, and this girl started praying for me, and I'm sure she doesn't even remember, but she started praying for me, and she started speaking in tongues, and someone next to me looked at me, and they were like, she's saying you have a God-sized hole. And that for me was just like incredible, because I was like, oh my word, yes I do. Like, and I'm trying to fill it with pills and alcohol and partying and all of these things that, you know, just it wasn't doing it wasn't fixing anything. It was just making me more and more numb and more reliant on all of those things. So
it's so funny how, like, one thing that someone said can change your whole perspective on something.
It is.
Like, that's just how the Holy Spirit reaches you, and it's just so beautiful.
And it's just like the plan that Jesus has for you is...
Yeah, it's gonna happen no matter what you think about it.
And I said this to you the other day, I think, Jesus, he made a plan for your stupidity as well. So
he's got a backup plan. It's okay.
plan A, B, C, D, you know.
Yeah, I think that's also a thing, like, obviously people think, I'm too far gone, you know. Like, a big thing is that you're never too far gone. Like, God has a plan for you. Nothing you do is going to change that plan or is going to sway that, you know. Like, you are no one compared to God. Like, what you do is not going to change. If he has a plan for you, he has a plan for you. It's going to happen, Yeah,
and the amount of people that I've spoken to about God, like, they aren't even worried about, like they believe in God, but they're like, but you know, how's he gonna do anything for me? I'm too far gone. Okay, so I'm very excited for all of this to begin, and our next episode will come out soon. And thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Bye. We hope you guys enjoy. Bye.